What's good, my people? Welcome into Buckets, Action Network's NBA Daily Betting Podcast. We're in the workshop. Sean Little in the hosting chair for Matt Moore. He's out tonight. But of course, I'm with my guy that I'll be with tomorrow. J Money is Money for the Tuesday NBA show. You already know the routine. J Money's going to give his best bets for the Tuesday NBA slate. We'll give the cap, touch on a couple other games, and then get out of here. J Money, what's going on, my boy?
Man, everything cool with me, man. Coming off a good day, you know what I'm saying? So trying to keep it going. It's been seeing it well lately, man. So I'll go ahead and tell the people my best bet. My best bet for it will be the Lakers -2 on Tuesday. A few other games I'm leaning towards. We could talk about whatever game, but Lakers -2 is the only thing I've bet so far, my brother.
J Money said he's seeing the board clearly. I am taking the day off. I'm still licking my wounds from Boston and the Knicks. I had a big 5% play on the Celtics. That didn't come in. So I'm just gonna play the host role for Matt Moore. All right. J Money is Money. Talk to me about the Lakers giving up a couple points in Los Angeles.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't want to fade the Lakers anytime for the rest of the season. Now, it doesn't mean that they're going to win every game, but it's just one of those where I feel like they're going to try to get in the groove. They're making a push for that sixth seed as well. And I wouldn't be surprised if this Lakers team got in the playoffs. I mean, obviously, they're tied for the play-in tournament right now. I think that at the very least, they get in the play-in tournament, but this is a team that's starting to get in the groove. Obviously, a lot of off-the-court issues for the Grizzlies. I don't like to talk about negativity, but obviously, there is a distraction for that team. And aside of that, even when they had everyone, this team was 12-20. Team is 12-20 straight up on the road, Sean. 11-21 against the spread as well on the road. You do not want the Grizzlies, even with all their guys. You don't really want them on the road in this one. They off in LA as well. Definitely not the best of situations. Fourth straight road game as well. The Lakers' third straight home game is this one. Might get Russell back as well, but regardless of that, I think they have enough defense to stop the Grizzlies, and I definitely think they have the bench advantages in this one as well. So give me the Lakers -2. I think that they know that this is a very important homestand, and I'd be surprised if they lost this game.
Yeah, fourth straight road game for the Grizzlies. Big distractions. We know what's going on with John Morant. Steven Adams, of course, is still out. Dylan Brooks is going to be out. Ja is out. And Brandon Clark
Brooks
is
should be
out.
back.
Say it
Brooks should be
again.
back. I was just saying Dylan Brooks should be back. He just had a one.
Yeah, he was out for the suspension. Okay, so Dylan should be back in the fold. That'll help the Grizzlies there. It does feel – I actually saw that clip from KG and the Paul Pierce podcast, and Kevin Garnett made a really interesting point that I agreed with. He said with LeBron now out, this is a testing period for Anthony Davis. Mm-hmm. Can you carry these boys? Are you still that guy? Can you close out this season strong and show that you still have tons left in the tank, get these guys in the playoffs and keep things afloat until LeBron comes back? You think they can?
Yeah, I think so. Anthony Davis coming off back-to-back games, 38, 39 points. I think they keep it going in this one. So I'll take the Lakers -2 with confidence.
All right. Couple other things. Yeah, like you said, on the season against the spread, the Grizzlies 11-20-1, one of the worst road records in the league. The Lakers are continuing to cruise. Why do you think the number is so short at -2, knowing that they've been on 4 straight on the road, knowing all the distractions? Feels like this should be like -4.5, -5.
No, the number is short, my guy. This team's just played, and the Grizzlies were favored by 9 points. You switch that to obviously some players are out, but in theory, the Grizzlies should be coming in here laying a couple of points. So the fact that the Lakers are favored in this game, the line is actually all over the Lakers. It's not short whatsoever.
All right, I love it. There was it's actually a really interesting slate here coming in for Tuesday. We know Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are the big days for the NBA. Closing out here, I have a future that I love to see. I have the Miami Heat to win the Southeast. So those are 2 big wins against the Hawks. So those guys are off. And then so coming into Tuesday, I did have a lean on the Magic in the first half. It should be around 3.5, 4 points. It's not an official play for me, but it is a lean. These guys, these squads played last week, and the Magic played these guys really, really tough the first 3 quarters and tailed off in the fourth. Giannis and those guys have been playing some of the best basketball they've been playing all year. But I think the Magic come out and play these guys tough early. But I can't make it an official play. I gotta hang out until later on this week. Let's talk about the Knicks. At home again, -9.5 against the Hornets. They've won 9 straight. Hottest team in basketball. Quickly's now the favorite to win Sixth Man of the Year. About 5 weeks ago, he was all the way at like plus 14, 1,500. And now he's all the way down to being the favorite. I saw -155 at one point. Would you look at this Knicks number being 9.5, now winning 9 straight? The hype is at a fever pitch, coming off 2 really close wins, one against Miami at the buzzer from Julius Randle. They get that done. And then they go to double overtime in Boston and get that W. Is 9.5 too much at home against the Hornets?
Well, it's too much for me, but I mean, I'm not
Right.
looking towards betting the Hornets as well. So if there was any other opponent, I might be looking their way. The Hornets don't necessarily want to win games. Looking at a spot perspective, and I am a spot better. If you're looking at the spot, you'd actually want to take the points with the Hornets in this one, even though they're missing LaMelo Ball and somewhat tanking, but not the best of spots with the Knicks in this one. They do have a 4-game road trip on deck, so they're coming off of a road trip as well. And then they go to the West Coast as well. So I mean, just a little mini 2-game road trip, but still 9 straight win streak. Then you come off a close game versus Miami. Then you go to double overtime versus Boston. You come home for 1 home game. Then you head out to the West Coast. So spot wise, I don't like the spot, but I know I'm not putting any money on the Hornets here. So the sharp in me says that I want to take the Hornets here plus a 10, but this will be a stealth game. Obviously, the Knicks are red hot. I will say though, if Brunson is out, I do think the 10 is too many.
Yeah, it seems like a classic letdown type of spot coming off of 2 massive W's. Everybody's showing the Knicks tons and tons of love. Like you said, they come home, get things in order, and then go right back on the road. And then they just gotta this game against a no nothing Hornets team could be kind of an afterthought as they gear up to go back out west and play a group of tougher guys. Could be a little letdown spot. 10 is a lot of points. All right, before we get out of here, let's touch on a couple more of these games. Where are you at on the Mavs right now? Because they played Phoenix extremely tough. Obviously, didn't have enough to get it done. KD closed them out and tucked them in. Any thoughts on the Mavs overall? Not even this matchup against the Jazz, right? For tonight's game right now, as we record this on Monday night, the Mavs are -6.5.
Yeah, still worried about their defense. Obviously, I do think that they can get stops in crunch time at some point. But I mean, looking at this matchup, I mean, I'm not scared of the Jazz here. I'm not looking towards betting the Jazz. Only thing I don't like is that the Mavs do have an important division game versus the Pelicans on the next night. So it's the first of a back-to-back. You always worry about a little look ahead. But 6 straight road games, I'd only be looking towards the Mavs in this one. It's kind of looking at it before this show, kind of looking at maybe Mavs first half or something, but also wouldn't be surprised if they rest a guy or two as well. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Mavs came out here, put it on the Jazz early, get the game over real quick, and then be able to rest some guys in this one. So I'm only looking towards the Mavs. I think the Jazz are a clear fade for the rest of the season.
Yeah, Mavs are interesting. It's just an interesting overall squad. If Tim Hardaway can shoot it like he shot the other night, that'd be another third big time option they can get to on the offensive end. He absolutely burned the net down against Phoenix, and they still didn't have enough with Kyrie and Luka. But we'll see how that shakes out. Last thing, J Money is money. Any advice for the folks out there while we close out this last 16, 17 games of the regular season? Any spots to look ahead to? Any spots that you look for to close out the year with, teams trying to push for the playoffs, teams trying to figure out seeding, and then once seeding kind of gets solidified, anything you look for or could tell the people to look for?
Yeah, well, first off, the tanking teams, they don't want to win games right now. So that's the first tip. I usually take it day by day. I try not to get too far ahead. I mean, tomorrow isn't guaranteed, but I can't tell you Pistons, Spurs, Rockets are not necessarily, and Hornets as well, are not necessarily bet on teams. And I think you could throw the Jazz in there as well. This team is obviously not making the playoffs. I do think they're a fade as well. And another thing, the top teams, like you said, Sean, once they're set into their spots, they're not about to risk injury or be going balls to the wall trying to win these games or cover spreads. So we will get some high inflated lines, numbers based off regular season, but you kind of have to know the situation, know the spot. As I always say, you kind of have to know the script, right? But a few of these top tier teams, they have their eyes on championship. They have championship aspirations, so they're not going to be on those last couple of weeks of the season when they're locked in, especially the top four teams of each conference. You probably want to fade them, especially when they're laying a boatload of points. And I wouldn't be surprised if they start resting guys as well to get to gear up for the playoffs.
Yeah, it's tight up top on the eastern side of the ball. It looks a little more clear on the west in the top four, top three, top four, at least in that way. All right, the official play from Tuesday's Action Network Buckets podcast. J Money is on the Lakers -2. For J Money is Money, I am Sean Little filling in for Matt Moore. Don't forget, follow us on Twitter. Jay is at J Money is Money. I'm at Chicago Flow. Follow us in the Action Network app as well. Until next time, always remember, get buckets.